Now at 6, the mayor-elect of Goodman, Missouri speaks out following the resignation of the city's entire police force. Plus, the city of Neosho, Missouri receives grants to help address flooding issues. And
we meet with a Pittsburgh State University professor who is shipping books to Africa. I'm Yanna Hautala with the story.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Goodman, Missouri mayor-elect is now speaking out about this week's resignation of the town's entire police force. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Now, we've told you all 9 Goodman police officers resigned after John Bunch was elected mayor. The former police chief alleges the mayor-elect threatened the department multiple times. Well, now Bunch is responding, talking with KOAM about the mass resignation, and he offered reassurance about Goodman's safety.
There's already mechanisms in place that we are prepared to reestablish our police department, and know when you have a police department that walks off the way they did, I have no desire to bring those same people back.
We're going to hear more from the mayor-elect tonight at 10. Kansas lawmakers have approved a plan to designate hundreds of acres in Allen County a state park. The 360 acres known as the Lehigh property includes a lake, a cave, and more than 14 miles of existing trails. The group Thrive Allen County and hundreds of community members had voiced support for that proposal. Plans for the state park include a visitor center, RV hookups, floating cabins, and primitive campsites. That designation now goes to the governor's desk. Abortion opponents in Kansas score another victory with a bill passed today by state lawmakers. The bill would require abortion providers to tell patients that a medication abortion can be reversed once it's started. It could face a state court challenge if its supporters can overcome the governor's expected veto. Republican lawmakers pursued the bill even though some experts dispute abortion opponents' claims about medication abortions. Democrats argue the measure defies a decisive statewide vote in August affirming abortion rights. Democratic Governor Laura Kelly vetoed a similar measure back in 2019. Kansas lawmakers also approved a plan today to end gender-affirming care for transgender youth. It caps off a week of intensifying efforts to roll back LGBTQ rights. The House voted 70-52 to require the state's medical board to revoke the licenses of doctors who provide gender-affirming care to minors. The Senate then voted 23-12 to approve the measure, sending it to Governor Kelly. She is expected to veto it. Kansas lawmakers approved a bill yesterday aimed at helping parents opt their children out of public school lessons with LGBTQ-themed materials. The House voted 76-46 to approve a parental rights measure. It would allow a parent to place their child in an alternative to a public K-12 school lesson or activity that, quote, impairs the parent's sincerely held beliefs, values, or principles. That also now goes to the governor. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now with a first look at this beautiful weather.
It has been indeed beautiful across the area. Lots of blue skies, warm temperatures, and no precipitation. Nothing on radar right now. You can just see some ground clutter and a little bit of moisture in the air, what little there is. We do have some clouds across eastern Texas and southern Oklahoma that's kind of spilling up in our area, but they're just some high clouds, not really expecting much out of that. Instead, we're watching 2 systems on the west coast that are starting to make their way towards our direction, but they won't get here until later on in the weekend. So looking down the lane, we have a sunny Saturday on store. Sunday morning looks pretty good, and then as we head through the afternoon into the evening, we may see some showers developing and more scattered storms on Monday. And of course, I'll have all the details on that in your holiday forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. The city of Neosho, Missouri is receiving 2 big grants to help with flooding issues. KOAM's Carrie Worthen spoke with the city's Development Services Director to find out more.
Most people live in Neosho know we kind of live in a bowl, and we're known for springs. We do have a problem frequently with flooding in city streets.
Neosho's Development Service Director, Richard Levens, says the city has been constantly working to try and eliminate and reduce the flooding in town. The 2 grants will help with 2 projects. One is the Hatchery Branch project, which is designed to help floodwaters in the areas and was funded by the American Recovery Act.
That project is a $6.9 million project that is associated with another smaller project, the school branch project.
The school branch, funded by the Community Developed Block Grant, and it's designed to channel the stormwater out of the area.
That one is a $2.6 million project in the Stratford and Freeman area of the city, which is over on our east side, an area that frequently floods. As a matter of fact, the last flood that we had, a major flood we had in Neosho, was in that area.
Levin says this will not stop the flooding, but is designed to help control the flooding and help reduce flood insurance.
The people who've taken the brunt of the flooding and damage from flooding are happy to see us moving forward with some of these projects. And we keep working on new projects to try and reduce the problems for the citizens of Neosho.
The projects are estimated to start this year. In Neosho, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Levin says the flood mapping is going to have to be updated after those projects are complete. We want to clarify a story we aired yesterday about concern over fertilizer used in parts of southwest Missouri. Some members of the public are worried that runoff from fertilizer provided by the Denali company might pose an environmental risk. As we told you yesterday, Denali says its employees worked to clean up runoff from a March 1st incident. To clarify, Denali says that runoff was from a field and not from a lagoon. The company spokesperson says Denali is not aware of any involvement in runoff from a lagoon. Coming up, sentencings for 2 Oklahoma County jail guards for their method of punishing inmates. Plus, we're going to check out the groundbreaking for Cherokee Nation's newest hospital. 2 former Oklahoma County jail guards are sentenced for punishing inmates by playing children's songs. A lot of them, over and over. Gregory Cornell Butler Jr. and Christian Charles Miles were accused of forcing inmates at the Oklahoma County Jail to stand while handcuffed and listen to children's songs on repeat, including Baby Shark, over and over and over and over, and for hours and over. The jailers both pleaded no contest to misdemeanor cruelty charges for that 2019 incident. A judge put them both on probation for 2 years, fined them $200 each. They also have to complete 40 hours of community service and pay $300 in compensation to the victims. Both resigned when that investigation began. The Cherokee Nation plans to build a new hospital in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, to replace the current hospital that was built in the 1980s in Hastings. The $400 million project kicked off today. Reporter Emery Bryan takes a look at what it'll bring.
With a ceremonial groundbreaking, the leaders of the Cherokee Nation, present and past, started construction on the new hospital. The current Hastings Hospital is too small and outdated to meet the needs of medical care in Tahlequah, and the new space, an addition at the end of the almost new outpatient clinic nearby, will be more than twice the size of the old hospital.
Currently at around 53 to 56 beds, and we're going to go up to approximately 125, 127 beds, so increasing the capacity and how many people we can keep near communities, near home, have the support structure around them.
The Cherokees celebrated the milestone of finally starting on the new hospital with funding through the American Rescue Plan. The chief said it's the largest single investment in Cherokee healthcare ever.
It's a wise investment. I mean, it'll more than double our capacity for inpatient care, expand services, and really fuel us into the future as far as capabilities and capacity for healthcare.
The tribe has 2,500 employees working in healthcare, and with the new facility can expand employment and training. The new hospital will add space and capability for Cherokee Nation Health Services, including the first NICU and cath lab. It also expands the educational opportunities for the nearby OSU Medical School.
This hospital is going to open up opportunities and doors for new residencies to be right here on this campus here in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
It's going to take more than 2 years to build that new hospital. When construction is finished, the old hospital will be converted into a behavioral health clinic. Still ahead, a Pitt State professor leads the charge to ship hundreds of pounds of textbooks to universities in Africa.
We had a beautiful day across the 4 states, but is it going to last through the holiday weekend? I'll have the answer when we come back. Well, friends, the weather we've had the last few days is what we call Chamber of Commerce weather, with lots of blue skies, warm temperatures, and light winds. And you can see from this morning on the tower cam at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort down in Seneca, Missouri, a beautiful day. Lots of clear skies, a few high clouds streaming in during the afternoon hours, but that has started to move away as well. We have some more clouds that are going to be moving in as we head over the next 24 to 36 hours. Not really expecting any rain from that, so that's good news. I wish I had some better news on the allergies, though. It was pretty bad today, 10.6 out of 12. Tomorrow about the same, 10.6. So the allergy sufferers are certainly going to be feeling that. Radar is clear right now. We do have a little bit of moisture starting to show up on radar with those easterly winds, but that's about it. All the moisture is down in eastern Texas and Louisiana, with some thunderstorms down in that area, also around the Big Bend area of Texas. And believe it or not, some of the models are forecasting a low tropical in nature could develop in the northern Gulf of Mexico. That would be extremely early for April, but we'll have to keep an eye on that to see what happens. Instead, we're going to be watching the drought expand, unfortunately, a little bit further to the east on the drought monitor. It's still pretty bad in Chautauqua and in Elk counties. Exceptional drought still going on there. And the extreme drought extends all the way over to the east of Chanute around Parsons, and it's dry across all of southeastern Kansas and most of northeastern Oklahoma. So we desperately need some rainfall to get caught up. Temperatures right now are generally in the 60s with easterly winds. 67 in Chanute right now, 61, a little bit cooler over in Monette and in Cassville right now, but still very pleasant. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 64, east-northeast wind at 12, dew point's 24, so the humidity is real low at 22%, so be careful with any outside flames. In Pittsburgh, we're looking at east wind at 9, 64 degrees, and the dew point's also low at 26, giving us a humidity of 24%. Winds are going to be pretty much light over the next 24 hours, but as we move into Sunday night into early Monday, we could see some strong winds up towards the north and west. That will move off towards the east as we go through the morning on Monday, but generally the winds are going to be on the light side through most of the weekend. Also, rain chances are going to be low over the next 36 hours, but as we go into Sunday evening, that's when the rain chances start to increase, especially for our western counties. As we go through Sunday evening into Monday, we could pick up around a half an inch, maybe 2/3 of an inch in some isolated spots as those showers and storms move across late Sunday night into early Monday. And looking at the forecast, lows tonight are going to be in the 30s and 40s. And then as we go through the afternoon, we're going to see temperatures rebounding into the 60s across the area with southerly winds. And then as we go into Sunday morning, we're going to see lows generally in the 40s. Notice the winds are going to be turning around to the south and east. And then Sunday afternoon, that's when the clouds will be increasing, and then the showers will be arriving late Sunday night into early Monday, but still pretty nice. And then as we move into Monday, notice the showers start to increase across our area with lows generally in the 50s. Over the next 7 days, not too bad of a forecast as we look towards Resurrection Sunday, looking pretty good, especially in the morning. Showers late. That continues into Monday, but then look at that. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, nice and dry with temperatures in the 70s. And then next weekend, we could see a return to more storminess, but we do need the rainfall.
Beautiful Saturday and beautiful most of Sunday.
Absolutely.
We'll take it. Thanks, Sam. Still ahead, the Missouri Southern Lions look to even this series in a big MIAA matchup. And the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are in Fort Scott today playing in the Adam LaRoche tournament. We're going to have the highlights up next.
The Missouri Southern Lions opened up their series against Central Missouri last night. Southern would lose the opener 8-5 as they look to bounce back this evening. This one is just getting started in Joplin. Such a big series for both teams as they're both atop the MIAA in the standings. Missouri Southern has won 9 of their last 11 games. Winner of this series will hold on to the tiebreaker for first place. We'll have highlights from that game right here tonight at 10. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas were also on the field this evening for Game 2 of their series against Rogers State. Gorillas tried to even the series after falling Game 1 last night. So far, the latest update from Claire Moore, it's a slugfest. Pittsburgh State currently leads 11-9. Nixon Brannon hit a home run in this game along with 4 RBIs. Game is still in progress. We'll go over the details tonight. Well, today was day 2 of the Adam LaRoche Varsity Baseball Tournament in Fort Scott. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons played 2 games in Fort Scott today. And the first of those games was this afternoon against Ottawa. The Purple Dragons are 2-1 coming into the tournament. The bottom of the first inning, Jackson Turnbull. He'll turn on this one. Line drive, RBI single. Purple Dragons strike first, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Still in the first. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Grant O'Doherty skies this one to right field. That ball's going to stay fair. It finds some grass. 2 runs are going to score. O'Doherty turns it into a 2-run double. Purple Dragons now lead 4-0. Pittsburgh would score all their runs the first inning of the game. Webb Fern took over on the mound. Getting a strikeout there in the third. Breaking ball's working for him. Again in the sixth. Then a strikeout to end the game. Fern would pitch a complete game, striking out 5. Did not give up any earned runs. Pittsburgh was victorious today, winning the ball game 5-2 over Ottawa. And the St. Louis Cardinals are 2-4 to start the season. After getting swept by Atlanta, the Cardinals hit the road for the first time this season in Milwaukee tonight against the Brewers. Starting a 3-game series, Jack Flaherty will be on the mound for the Redbirds tonight. Well, the latest from that game, as well as an update from the Royals series opener against the San Francisco Giants right here tonight at 10. Well, that will be all for sports. We'll be back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have more from the mayor-elect of Goodman, Missouri, speaking out now after the town's police department resignations. Plus, concerns over hacking vulnerabilities of a proposed electric vehicle charging station network. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A Pitt State professor wants to help university students in Africa by shipping textbooks to 2 countries. KOAM's Yana Hautala has more from PSU's campus.
Dr. Hong-Hee Lee from Pittsburgh State University noticed the need for textbooks and has now shipped nearly 600 pounds of them to Africa. Dr. Lee says a missionary from Africa building universities in Rwanda, Tanzania, Congo, and Uganda told him the universities are still in need of staff and books.
The most urgent resources he needs to find is, the faculty members to teach, business classes and also the book resources.
This is not Dr. Lee's first time donating books. He did this 3 years ago after he spent time in Africa University in Zimbabwe.
The U.S. organizations donated really beautiful, building of a library. So I went there in the library, but there's no book. So it's difficult for them to get all those books there. The most recent resource I found there was published in 1982. And it was not possible to use that for business class.
PSU student Akpere Aishatu says it is a good thing to offer supply to someone who is in need.
Nowadays we need to be educated. If you're not educated, you can't really get money, and money is the big issue nowadays. So I think that people need to get educated, and by sending books to Africa, you cannot have developed country to get a more global learning.
Lee says Book Drive was made possible because of community effort. Students, faculty, and church members were some of the people donating.
The business books or business with technologies, and the theology books, and some science books. We have just big categories, and then try to meet all those needs there.
In Pittsburgh, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The books from Pitt State were shipped to a church in San Jose, California. Today, they're going to be shipped to Africa at the end of the month. Nice idea.
Very nice idea.
If you're to order a perfect spring day, it might be something like tomorrow.
I've delivered. I mean, it's going to be beautiful tomorrow and most of Sunday. Don't let the shower scare you. That's going to be later on Sunday. And then a really nice week all next week.
Looks beautiful. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.